Today, however, a very, very pleasant reading. 73 up in the Goodland area, 72 at Garden City, 70 reported by Dodge City and Liberal, 72 over by the good folks.
That's not good. Today we are back here in the graveyard here at the marina, and we're going to be seeing if we can't get one of these little engines to run. Got a couple here, a little 25 Merc and a little 25 Yamaha. But I'm going to try and get this Yami to see what exactly is going on with it and if we can't get this thing to run. Alright, so let's see what we got going on here. Got a little 2006 25 horse. Let's see what we're looking like here. Definitely gonna need some work here on these plugs. Probably need to clean these carburetors. Pull start. At least we do have a starter. Alright, I think the first thing that we need to do is make sure this thing's even going to turn over. Hey, look at that, she turns over. Hey. That'll do. But now that we know that it has spark and compression, we need to go ahead and investigate the rest of the engine and make sure all the other components are working properly. And the first problem that we come across is with the shifting. This thing won't shift. Before we clean the carburetors, we might go and figure out why this ain't shifting. If it don't work, it's about to. But if I can't get it running, I can't get it.
All the way from the eastern portions of Montana
Just gonna put everything down here. Looks like we have a serious problem. Look right there. That piece is actually bent. So this thing will not shift at all. It won't budge. Now, what exactly is freezing that up from moving? That's another story. It very well may just be the shift mechanism here, right here, that's messed up, and not necessarily the lower unit of the shift unit. But only one way to find out. We got to pull the starter off of here, and then we can see after that, once we get the starter and all this stuff off, to start disassembling that shift mechanism, see what we got going on there. We should probably disconnect this battery, huh? Ah. All I'm going to do is just disconnect this piece right here. I just need to disconnect that little rod right there. There we go. Still nothing. Still nothing on that side. If you've never seen a reed plate, that's what your reed plate looks like. A little bit of water in there. That's not good. Okay, now something else. And that's some rust right there on the crankshaft and the connecting rod. We got good compression, and I think we'll be all right. Take some fog on here and yeah, get you some of that. So what I know is that pretty much this mechanism here is locked up inside of here. And so what I need to do is somehow get this out, but I really don't want to pull this power head. Even though I might have to pull the power head, I really don't want to. So I need to get this piece out of here somehow. And unfortunately, the shift shaft is in there, and the only way to get it out, this thing needs to flip all the way up, and the shift shaft will slide out. So that's what I gotta do. Well, actually, we got one side free. We got this one free here. That one's moving the way it should. So now I just gotta get this one here free. And I might be able to do that without even getting this thing out of here. So this is where a croll comes in. So unfortunately, it looks like the power head's got to come off. And in order to take this power head off, you gotta take these 12 mils off. So let's pop those 12 mils off and pull this power head off here. There's our water tube. Doesn't look terrible, doesn't look great, but doesn't look terrible. We want to put some sealant on that when we put this thing back down. Drive shaft's not looking too bad. Motor mounts are alright. Extra parts, you don't need those. So now we can get this thing off of here. This is our problem. We need to get this piece free from this shaft. We're going to do that in the vise here. So it looks like this entire... See, this one's free and spinning like it should. But this other piece seems to be locked up. That's what's locked up. So it doesn't look like the shift mechanism is wanting to budge at all. So what I think we're going to have to do is end up putting some heat on it and see what that does for us. There we go. Got it off. Looks like this thing is bent. should be like this. We should just be able to flick it around and spin it. That's the way it should be spinning. This thing doesn't even turn once it gets all the way down. Once you get it off though, not too bad, but I mean, what I could do is take that roll pin punch off out of there. Now then, it is bent. Not much I can do about that. About the best I can do is straighten that thing out. You load this little biscuit up with some grease. Make sure this goes on the right way. You go ahead and load this side up with some grease too. Yeah. Looking good. Couple things that I notice right away. One, look at all this buildup in the exhaust. It's quite a bit. And then two, missing two bolts on this water pump impeller housing. So we'll see what we got when we open this thing up. This is exactly what we were expecting to see, two broken bolts. But that's the least of our concerns, so we're gonna leave it. Alright, so here's one of our problems. This thing here is pretty much trashed on the inside, but that's why you gotta have something like this. We'll come over here and clean this up first. Much better. Neutral. I'm just gonna clean this up and stick this back on there.
And we went ahead and skipped over the reassembly montage and moved right into the carburetors, which really weren't that bad. But I went ahead and cleaned them up anyway and then got them reinstalled back onto the engine. So now we can move on to doing some tank testing.
junk.
But for what it is, it's actually running pretty good. I mean, we do have about 8 hours of work in it after pulling the power head and fixing the shift mechanism, cleaning the carburetors. It does still need a set of spark plugs, and the last issue that it does have is that we've got an intermittent ignition coil. But for what it is, I think we've saved this little outboard from going to the trash can.